afternoon, guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day, because today is St. Patrick's Day. Supposedly there's plenty of parades and everything, but it's because of this coronavirus. Everything is just like locked down, so we have to stay in the house. But here it's not in the house. We're here just to show you around because we just need some fresh air. So I'm going to show you the most famous Samuel Beckett Bridge, and that's the landmark in Dublin. You know that's in Dublin when you see that bridge. That's the Samuel Beckett Bridge. Happy St. Patrick's! Bye!
Sites in 55 countries will be lit up, from Niagara Falls to the London Eye. Now, on the line is Chief Executive of Tourism Ireland, Niall Gibbons. Niall, welcome to the News at 1. It's a big part of St. Patrick's Day, landmarks turning green all over the world. You obviously felt it was important to still go ahead with it this year, despite the current turmoil.
Well, thanks, Justin. Yeah, I mean, we did contemplate whether to go ahead or not with the Global Greening Project, given the extremely difficult circumstances faced by the industry and by everybody affected by COVID-19. But the feedback that we got around the world was that, despite all those global challenges, the supporters of Ireland are still pressing ahead. They want to mark St. Patrick's Day in some way or other and keep Ireland to the fore in some sort of a positive light. So hundreds of iconic landmarks in over 50 countries are set to go green over the next day or so as part of our celebrations this year. I mean, obviously a much different tone, but it brings some positivity to the 70 million diaspora around the world who are a major part of this project and claim links to Ireland, as well as those professionals in our industry and everybody who helps promote Ireland as a holiday destination. And we've had a setback this year. We will come back stronger than ever. I mean, it's a very, very difficult time for the 140,000 people who have lost their jobs, but it's a global phenomenon we're dealing with here. 50 million jobs at risk in the tourism and hospitality sector. But it's really important that we follow the advice of our medical experts, because that's the best way to go back to normal this week.
And what is turning green this year now?
Well, I mean, there's too many to list on this show, but it's a remarkable. I really think we'd have as many, over 400. But there's traditional ones that come back, like the London Eye and the Empire State Building, but it's great to have new ones come on board. Great Britain, for example, the Old Vic in London, the National Theatre, Madison Square Gardens in New York, the Frame in Dubai. 55 countries. It's gone from strength to strength. What started off maybe like 10 years ago, an approach we made to the New South Wales administration in Australia to ask them would they like the Sydney Opera House green on St. Patrick's Day. And the occasion then was actually the 200th anniversary of the first reception ever held for the Irish in Australia by the then Governor of New South Wales, Lachlan McMurray. And they said yes to that, and it was a significant gesture from Australia, and we were just amazed at how fast this is growing around the world. So I suppose it gives some sort of hope in what's very, very difficult circumstances at the moment, and it's really done in solidarity with everybody affected by COVID-19, and especially workers in the hospitality sector at the moment as well.
Indeed, and we all need that little bit of hope. Thank you very much, Tourism Ireland Chief Executive Niall Gibbons. Now, normally at this time of year we'd be watching pictures from parades from across the country, but instead most streets are empty. But that hasn't stopped communities from celebrating St. Patrick's Day in lots of different ways. Our reporter Cian McCormick is with us now. Cian, what kinds of things are people doing today?
Well, Justin, you just have to look online because some people are having family parades in their back gardens. Others are decorating their windows with their children's pictures, and many for the day that's in it, they're singing out loud. Katrina Skelly is the organiser of the St. Patrick's Day Sing-Song. That's a Facebook page that has close to 30,000 members in just 3 days. And the idea here is to get Irish people to sing out loud in their own personal, individual space, in their back gardens or on their balconies at 3 o'clock today all over the country. I spoke to Katrina earlier.
I was watching the Italians singing,
we going to Henry Street,
and it was a little bit of hope that I seen from their videos. And like everybody else, I was in lockdown. I had so much time to think. I was checking the COVID pages too much. I was I was terrifying myself, and that gave me a little bit of hope. And I just made a comment on one of the videos saying, "Sure, that's what we'll do on Paddy's Day, and we'll record ourselves." And it just took off from there.
What exactly is happening, and at what time today?
At 3 o'clock, we're all going to sing Ireland's Call, but you can pick a song of choice. Everybody's going to go out and record it out their backyards, on their balconies. But it was more that we're creating a moment in history, and that we're all in this together, and that we're united in song. So sing whatever means something to you, and in your own Irish way. But 3 o'clock.
Come the day and come the hour, come the power and the glory. We have come to answer our country's call from the full.
That's Ireland's Call there, of course. Cian, you've also talked to a disappointed choir in Cork who were due to headline their local St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yes, of course, Justin, and lots of people disappointed about their St. Patrick's Day parades. But the Fermoy International Choir in Cork, which has 60 members from different, which is 100 members from 60 countries around the world, has got around this because the parade wasn't happening. They all sang outside their own homes individually at 11 o'clock this morning.
We all went out into our back gardens and sang the chorus of Trastlin na Downta, all of us dressed in green. And then we uploaded those little 30-second film clips of us singing to our WhatsApp group, and we'll put it together in a little video. It's important that we use technology, I think, Cian, as much as possible now to keep these things going and keep people connected and keep spirits up.
Great uplifting stuff there, Cian. Social media and messaging apps can also do some good within communities.
Yeah, absolutely, because the idea here is that, children can't take part in parades, but they can decorate their own windows. And there's been a movement online, and many families all over the country are expected to take part in this movement. The hashtag is Paddy Pains, and it's quite popular on Twitter at the moment. I spoke to one community group in Stepaside in Dublin. Here's Chris Rycraft of the Bellarmine Residents Association.
We're inviting our neighbours, kids and adults alike, to get involved and decorate their windows with lots of art and decorations, and kind of inspire everyone, put smiles on their faces, so when kids are out and about, obviously in self-isolation with their family units, and they'll be able to see all these lovely windows about. Once we gather all the pictures, we'll have one or two of us doing different parts of Bellarmine. We're going to put them up on our website, Bellarmine or
Henry Street.
And I believe my daughter Ella is putting one up as we speak at home. That was Chris Rycraft from the local Residents Association in Bellarmine, and Cian McCormack earlier. Thank you.
RTE Radio 1 Sport with the all-new Kia Exceed. Coming soon. Exceed plug-in hybrid. For more, visit kia.com.
Now here with with News of Sport is Greg Allen.
Thanks very much. First, UEFA has been deciding in the last few hours on the possible or likely postponement, as it looks like now, of this year's European Championship soccer tournament, following a series of video conference calls which have been ongoing today. RTE soccer correspondent Tony O'Donoghue joined us. Tony, we're in that territory of it being unofficially tweeted but not officially announced.
Yeah, it was the Norwegian FA who broke ranks, Greg, and announced that the Euros will be moved to next year. So instead of Euro 2020, it will be Euro 2021. It'll be from the 11th of June until the 11th of July 2021. That seemed like the obvious move as this crisis continued. The UEFA 55 member associations hooked up today via video conference, Ireland among them, with the president of the FAI, Jerry McEnany, and the interim CEO, Gary Owens. But the news broke from Norway, to be confirmed yet by UEFA, it must be said, but this is what we were expecting. It's important that as many domestic leagues can be finished as possible. There's a huge amount of money riding, a huge amount of prestige as well, but more importantly, I suppose, from a legal perspective, if you suspended leagues now, they feel there will be a legal challenge from clubs who may expect it to be promoted, clubs who might be relegated. So for the Euros to be put back to next summer, that buys some time to finish the domestic competitions in various leagues.
So, Tony, we can take it that the Euros are now definitely going to be postponed?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the UEFA, I was speaking to them myself yesterday, and they said that they wouldn't have any reporters involved in this today, and that they would only release at the end of it. What they've done is to create a task force now of UEFA, the European Clubs Alliance, and the European leagues, and they are at the moment working on producing a schedule to try and fit in the end of domestic leagues. Remember, Ireland are supposed to have it's still not officially postponed. The playoff game against Slovakia is supposed to be on Thursday.
On a normal day, the parade be on now
in Bratislava. Now clearly that's not happening.
People walking everywhere with green and orange colours and silly hats.
If they're to go ahead, if they're not to be replaced by the drawing of lots, to go ahead perhaps in the autumn. But the Nations League fixtures have already been published. The window for international football is very, very narrow these days. So there's going to be a huge scheduling congestion issue. There's no question about that.
Tony O'Donoghue, thanks for joining us, our soccer correspondent there, RT soccer correspondent Tony O'Donoghue. On that news, the Euros are going to be postponed.
See, you understand it. You're here a long time. I understand it. But many people wouldn't understand it.
Has spoken of his disappointment at the cancellation of the Aintree Grand National, but he said this morning there is every hope that Tiger Roll can run next year, aiming for the third success in the famous race. The horse will be 11 years old next year. Incidentally, Red Rum, when Red Rum won it for a third time, was 12 in 1977. So Tiger Roll will be aimed at the Grand National next year, by the looks of things, according to trainer Gordon Elliott. All racing in Britain is going to be suspended until the end of April due to the outbreak of coronavirus. The British Horse Racing Authority have confirmed that. It only was yesterday that they said it was going to be behind closed doors until the end of March. Now suspension until the end of April, all British racing. And Japan's Olympic Minister Seika Hashimoto still saying the country is planning for a complete hosting of the Tokyo Olympics to be held on time with spectators in attendance.
Greg, thank you. And that is the news this St. Patrick's Day lunchtime. The programme was edited today by Brendan Fitzpatrick. On sound was Pat O'Kearney, for myself, Justin McCarthy, and all the team on the News at 1. Thanks for listening, and we wish you a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day.
No, I can't have that sound. That's copyright.
Festival. And this is O'Connell Street, the main street of the capital, and it's empty. I could be parked in the wrong spot at the minute. Of the capital.
What building is that? Borky?
There's Borky at the corner there. Yeah.
Yeah, the immigration office. Here's the tram.
Yeah. It's empty.
Is it?
Not many on it. No,
yeah.
just not many on it. But it's Bank Holiday Monday, babe. That Jimmy Chung's must be gone, is he?
Oh, long time ago. It's because, you know, plenty of complaint, I think. But the food, the
Eugene wasn't great.
I don't want that person to arrest me.
You notice there's a lot of guards around.
Yeah.
I noticed there's guards parked everywhere.
See, one thing about this, it's
There's the custom house. Or the Department of Housing, whichever you want to call it. And we're heading down to the Civic Centre, babe, where you took the oath to become an Irish citizen. And there's a monument of the Great Famine.
it's there.
The famine ship is just there at the back of that.
What's the name of that bridge?
James
That-
Joyce.
Huh?
James Joyce.
Yeah, that's the landmark of Dublin.
It's one of the landmarks of Dublin, baby.
Yeah, every time if you go in the internet, that's the one that you see.
Yeah. There's the Civic Centre there.
Yeah, that's where I saw. Oh, shucks.
When I stop for a while, then you can take the Civic Centre.
Yeah.
I can park up here. Maybe we get out in a few minutes.
That's a nice one, babe.
Hello everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day from George and Sarah Lawler here in Dublin, Ireland. So I hope you're having a nice St. Patrick's Day, even though the coronavirus is after stopping things for everybody to have a good time. We're standing here on the River Liffey, which is a famous river that goes through the heart of Dublin. And over there is the Civic Centre, where Sarah, my wife,
go in there.
Where Sarah, my wife, took an oath to be an Irish citizen. I think it's 2+ years ago now. It's when you've done that. And in a few minutes, we're going to walk down here to the naval ship.
Oh yeah.
The Semyon Beckett. And there's Admiral William Brown, forefather of the Navy, the Argentine Navy in Argentina. He founded the Navy in Argentina, and he was an Irishman.
Oh, we'll go in. Oh no, wait. Yeah.
Okay, just give me a minute, I just want to move the car and put it the same thing.
That's the hip. Let's go. I like that building in there.
It's much better than sitting in the car, you know? This is all offices around here, and if it wasn't a bank holiday and we hadn't got the coronavirus, all these offices would be full of people and all the streets would be full of people. But because it's a bank holiday and we also have the coronavirus, Dublin now is empty, very quiet. It's called the Locklands, baby.
Huh?
Locklands. Oh. Strange skinny building. That's one of our Navy ships.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Send me back a bridge. The height, the weight. Do you know when it was constructed? Oh no, do you know when it was finished? No, do you know when it opens? October, the 10th of December 2009.
I was here at the time. It's too windy. Oh my god, I feel dizzy.
In 1883 it was the world's biggest ship dock. This is not in the water, the diving bell over your head, it's very old. They used to put that into the water and then the divers used to climb up to the top.
Oh?
There.
Oh, yeah.
If you walk, don't put down in the water. Well, standing on the river Liffey, babe, we're walking on it.